Welcome to Rob's Props. I'm Rob, or Robbie, and today we're going to make the flux capacitor from Back to the Future. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is create the measurements. So now, just by observing the picture of the flux capacitor online, I could say that the length is probably going to be around 11.5 inches, and the width would be about 8.5, and then let's call the height about 2.5. Alright, so now that I'm done with the measurements, let's start with the fun part. Alright, so here's some leftover foam board that I got at Walmart for about $2, and we're gonna use this for the outside, and it looks like this is already about 8.5 inches long, so perfect. Alright, so let's mark how long we want it. So we want it 11.5 inches long. So that's about right there. Just about there. And there, then we'll cut out a sort of ovalish shape in the middle and add some plastic that I have, and then build up from there. All right, so let's cut this out and then eyeball the rest of it. We're just gonna eyeball the rest of these lines. And then the middle also has a sort of curve to it, so I'll use something round to curve that off to make it more of a perfect curve. Alright, so I'm going to use this cup that I have and just sort of trace around the edges to make it a curve. I'm going to do that on all four sides. Now we got to cut it out. Alright, now you got it cut out, just pop it out. You got this. You don't need this. Alright, now that I have all my pieces cut out, I can now glue them together to make a box. I don't want to glue the top one on yet though, because I still have to add the actual fluxer. So the box is finished. Now, before I begin to actually make the parts, I'm going to paint it a dark gray. I'm going to paint this and this. And later on, I will add some plastic in this to make it more of a, more accurate. But this is what it will look like as a box. Alright, I just finished the inside. I still have the outside to do, and the top. I'm not spray painting it, obviously, so it's going to take a bit longer, but yeah. So I was looking back at the picture, and it looks like the lights are going into washers, but I don't have any washers. I was going to use some old metal that I found, some tin from a old pencil box, but it turned out to be too thin, so I'm just going to use some of this foam. It's a little thin, so I'm gonna cut 2 circles and then just stack them on top of each other. So I'm just gonna cut out 6 circles and see how that looks. So to cut out the circles, I had a tool to do that, but I kind of lost it. So I'm just gonna be using my pencil sharpener and just sort of just push and twist. Alright, so I totally forgot to record me finishing these, but I cut out the 3 holes, I painted them and then glued them in, and so now the next step is to paint or cover the whole thing in gloss varnish so that it gives it a shiny look, so that it actually looks metal and not look like cardboard. So for varnish, you don't really have to worry about brush strokes or anything, because it's all it does is shines it up. The brush strokes aren't going to show, so it really doesn't matter how bad your paint job is. All right, so I just finished the varnish. You can sort of see how it does make a bit of a difference with the shine. Now the top is still drying. We'll work on the top near the end of the video because it's just the least coolest part. But anyway, now to the best part probably of this entire project is the lights. I bought these for about $5 at Walmart, and they just plug in USB, and it comes with a remote. So what I'm planning to do is just to cut some holes and just sort of start looping it through. So I'm going to cut a hole about right in the beginning right there. All right, so now that I have the first one looped through, now it's just sort of a sewing type motion, going up, down, and in. So I'm gonna go to the middle. Pull it down. Let it slack a bit. Let it a little up. Pull this one up a bit. You want to just sort of like go up and then slant down. Like that. And then now you've got it through there. You want to come up through the bottom, this bottom one. So now that everything is glued in place, I hot glued it. It's a little bit of a mess back there. But you got the cord running all the way to your outlet, and then with the remote, whoops. Now the fluxer is fluxing, and I think what's cool about using these kind of lights is that you could change it to any color you want to, you know, for a flux capacitor, which seems kind of cool once it'd be finished. All right, so that part is not done yet. There's still a couple pieces that need to be done, but while that's sitting there, I can do this and add the glass or plastic, which is what I have, plastic, and I'm just gonna cut out a square and then just hot glue it behind here and then put it on. All right, so now I have the plastic sheet cut out and glued to the back. The next thing we're gonna make are these things right here. The only problem are the red parts, because I don't really have anything that looks like that. So I'm gonna have to carve it out of some leftover foam that I have and see how that goes. All right, so for the yellow looking wire part, I'm gonna be using these. I found this somewhere on a toy that I had since I was like 5 years old, but this would work perfectly for the wire. So I'm just gonna cut out a square. Best cuts. They're flat, not like this. This is not what you want. Now that we got our basic shape, I can just finish it off with my Dremel. All right, so I got my shape. I'm finished. Now I just need about 2 more. All right, so then I have these three cut out. I can paint these red and this yellow. All right, while those other pieces are drying, I'm gonna sand this down so that I can paint it, because the paint probably won't stick to this. All right, so I have everything painted, finished. It took a lot longer than I thought it would take, but I have my 3 pieces and I have my yellow wires. and we're gonna glue those on in a second. But first, I'm going to paint these with varnish because in the picture they look plastic, and well, these don't really look plastic. Alright, so it looks like I painted a lot more than I needed. I don't need these. I only need these. And then now I can glue them together. Let's glue the first one. Alright, so now that you have these done, we're basically done. All we have to do is glue the top on, and then that's it. Alright, let's hurry up and do this before the glue dries. Alright, that's it. I hope you guys like it. You can change the colors if you want to whatever, but don't forget to like and subscribe. This was my first video, so it'd mean a lot. And comment down below what prop you want next.